In the town of San Antonio on the Lake Maggiore, there lived an old woman who was very good at making jam. So good that her services were sought after in Valcuvia, in Valcivaglia, in Val Diamantina, and in Valpoverina. When it was jam season, people came from all the different mountain valleys, sat on the low stone wall, and looked out at the view over the lake. Picked a few raspberries from the raspberry bushes, and then called out to the famous little old jam maker. Apollonia!
What is it?
Would you make me a pot of blueberry jam?
At your service?
Would you help me make a nice plum jam?
Right away. Apollonia, the little old lady, really did have golden fingers, and she made the finest jams in the Vides area and in all of Canton Ticoni. One time, an old woman from Auckland came to see her.
That woman was so poor that she didn't have as much as a paper wrapper of peach pits to make the jam with. And so, along the way, she had filled her apron with chestnut husk. Apollonia, would you make me a pot of jam?
With chestnut husks?
I couldn't find anything else.
Oh well, let me try. Apollonia did her best, and in the end she made the finest jam imaginable out of chestnut husks.
Another time, that same woman from Alchemigia couldn't even find chestnut husks, because when the dry leaves fell, they would cover them up. So this time she arrived with an apron full of stinging needles. Apollonia, would you make me a pot of jam?
With stinging needles?
I couldn't find anything else.
Oh well, we'll see how it turns out. Apollonia took the bag of stinging needles, poured plenty of sugar over them and boiled the way only she knew how, and made a jam out of them that was finger-licking delicious. Because Apollonia, the little old lady, had fingers of gold and silver, she could have made a fine jam out of rocks.
One time, the emperor himself came through and insisted on tasting some of Apollonia's jam. She gave him a bowlful, but after the first spoonful, the emperor stopped eating in disgust because a fly had fallen into it. "This is disgusting," said the emperor.
If the jam was not good, the fly would have never fallen into it in the first place, replied Apollonia. But by now the emperor had lost his temper, and he ordered his soldiers to cut off Apollonia's hands.
At that, the people rose up in rebellion and told the emperor that if he had Apollonia's hands cut off, then there'd be nothing for it but to chop his crown off, and his head with it, because they could find heads to serve as emperor on any street corner, but golden hands like Apollonia's were far more rare and precious.
And the emperor was forced to pack his bags and run away.